TJ, first of all thank you for giving the little time what you have given. You have got extensive experience with incubation centers and pre-incubation centers and all that concept of IIT Madras. Can you share that experience with me a little? Then I'll ask other questions in between. How did you get associated and what are your philosophies behind it?
In a real sense, I have not been associated with it. I have only been an observer.
What is your observation?
How the incubation of a startup was started was about 12, 13 years ago. That entrepreneurship has to be encouraged, especially for students and professors. That's how it started.
Oh, even for professors.
Yeah. And they were encouraged to convert their ideas or research ideas into commercialization. So the place was this thing. It was government land which was taken on lease. A separate company of Section 8 was formed, and Professor Jhunjhunwala headed that with the board. Took the commercial loan so that there is no bureaucratic or government interference, and then started. Then it had a place rented out for research. It is also converted as a research park later.
Okay.
The idea is the companies which they want to collaborate with the industry, because we need to raise money for the startups. So the industry research was added to that, and that is how it became a research park. So the incubation center is a part of the research park.
Okay, but in that research park, the industry also takes some space to do their research?
Yes.
Achha.
There is a condition that they must have, there is a quite stiff rent. Along with that, they must have so many credits by engaging students, internship, engaging professors, using the lab, all that. There are different, I mean, it's a very individual system.
Okay. Well, it's a very interesting system what you have talked about. But for students especially, what are the types of facilities that are available in that research center?
For the students, they had, the IIT had 3 levels of keys. One, I don't remember the exact name, where the students were supposed to come out with the basically commercializable ideas. It was not just trading, but some minor innovation. And they will be given 50,000 or 1 lakh.
Okay.
They will just have to come out with a prototype or a product.
Who gives that 50,000? Where does it come from?
The institute was giving.
And where did the institute get the fund? Was it government fund or CSR funds? That you wouldn't know.
Because there the institute funding is very, very complicated in many ways.
Okay.
They get separate funds, they have some grants, individual grants. They have
Okay.
And then there is a separate called CFI,
Center for Innovation.
The Center for Innovation has a kind of a lab arrangement where the students can go and do all the fabrication, work on the ideas, and that's open. Basically, fabrication ideas or lab or whatever the facilities for making the prototype. Now, the ideas from Center for Innovation which become commercializable, then they go into incubation center.
Oh, okay. So this is where they'll do the pre-incubation type of thing at the CFI?
Pre-incubation type of thing. So you don't call it as a pre-incubation because it is basically the people are free to experiment.
Okay.
So the innovation, from the innovation, not necessarily go into incubation.
One minute, just a minute.
So incubation and the CFI, though they are sequential, they are unlinked.
Unlinked, okay. So you might have some cases where the students get into CFI, do up to prototype, but they need not go into
Many
in fact.
Many.
Okay. But then, are you taking the risk then that, okay, this idea may not work at the CFI pre-incubation stage afterwards?
I think there are multiple criteria, so there are no fixed rules.
Oh, there are no fixed rules.
See, for example, one, they must be, when it comes to an incubation center, they must be able to say what is the market. So the innovation area, we only solve a problem.
Okay, we solve the problem. I think that's a good difference.
Yeah. So here, how will it be acceptable in the market?
In the incubation, okay.
What will be the price range? Some listing of the market has been done.
Okay.
So only where they are able to say that there is a market.
That will go into incubation. Okay.
Whether it will succeed or not is a different issue. But there must be a market. There must be a market need and there must be a pricing.
Okay.
And pricing at need, which again may not work out. So out of the incubation center, from the incubation center, the success rate is probably only 5%.
5%. Okay. And like you had that 50,000 or so grant for, let's say, pre-incubation, what is the support system for the incubation?
When it comes to incubation, you are considered as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So
Right.
there is no direct funding.
Okay.
Then there could be multiple arrangements. There could be angel investors
Okay.
who come in.
Uh,
And the grant which is given in CFI itself
uh,
could be part of the thing which is
Part
used
of-
for incubation.
okay.
If
Okay.
they have spent everything, because CFI has a facility, so if they had used everything, then they cannot be an entrepreneur because you spend up the money.
Okay. Okay.
So, and there may be an occasion where basically we call it as a friends, family, and there may
Yeah.
not, may or may not be. If the idea is innovation is very good, they apply for various competition, pitching competition,
Pitching competition.
and they go for government grant, research grant.
Okay.
All that can be a seed funding. There is no single at that time.
At source at that time.
Yeah. Then they say per seat,
Uh,
they'll give a seat. They'll give, say one seat is 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, depending on the people. That means they get a computer system on seat or whatever.
oh, the seat. Okay. You mean a place to work?
Place to work.
Uh,
So 2 places will be so much.
uh,
And they, depending on the space which they want, they are allocated whatever the rent, which is 2 spaces, 4 spaces. Sometimes they take as an area if they want to do something physical.
uh,
Then they are given a time of different incubators have different times. Some incubators have 2 years, some incubators have 3 years,
okay.
and on an extraordinary cases they will extend it also.
Okay.
Because they cannot. This is a concessional one. After that they are supposed to become something on their own.
On their own. You said there are some principles on which the incubation is done. 3 principles you told me something. Nothing is free and things like that. What are
Yeah,
those
that's
3?
what I'm saying. Nothing is free.
Okay.
That is the first principle. So everything is charged at the incubation center.
Okay.
Second is the create wealth and share the profit.
Okay.
So incubation center takes a share,
Oh, I see.
1%, 2%, 3%, depending on their this thing.
Uh-huh.
And the third one will be, it has to be on paper at least commercially viable.
Uncommercially viable. Okay, okay. But if, let's say, only 5% succeed, you said, then who bears the loss of the rest of them? Where does that loss go? The angel investor bears it.
Yeah, the angel investors will get the loss.
Actually.
That is why they are called angels.
Angels, yeah. And
And
how,
now one of the things which people are trying to do was they increase the percentage of success without discouraging the people to try.
Acha, acha. Right.
In the sense, in the name of increasing the percentage of success, we don't know. See, the whole idea is in all of this. We don't know what will succeed and
What will not succeed?
Predicting the future is
Okay.
difficult.
Yeah.
So allow certain amount of mistakes. What we don't know, we think everything will work. So maybe filter guidelines will come. So as we learn, the sharing of the experience will be there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you'll tell, oh, are you going to do that?
Okay.
Then this is the main. And the support system is the incubation center does lot of training.
Okay. Oh,
They conduct
okay.
training programs
Okay.
on the incubator. Say how to get the finance. They call different experts and
Uh-huh.
talk on how to start the company. What are the rules of tax, this, that.
Okay.
How to get employees.
Okay.
So they frequently conduct that pitching for the VCs and angel investors. They arrange for meetings.
Okay. Okay. Good.
And they collect all the competitions from all over India, or sometimes even international, and then
Okay.
tell them. See, individually we may miss,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
collectively you get everything, so you get it in a place.
You get it in
Those
a
are the basic thing of the incubator.
Okay.
Then there is another level of called accelerators,
Huh.
where the people at the incubation they have done the proof of concept.
Huh.
Then they get into the accelerator where there is a much closer mentoring,
Uh-huh.
where again the accelerator takes a share of the money
Uh-huh.
and then tries to broker arrangements for both marketing contacts as well as VC finance.
VC finance. Okay. Okay.
So they call it accelerator.
Yeah.
So we have a pre-incubation, incubation,
And
accelerator.
accelerator.
Then it becomes individual.
Then it's excellently, I would say, structured the whole thing. What I wanted to know is, what is the role of CSR? Is CSR funding available in some places, and for what?
CSR funding I don't think it can be given to the individual startups or incubation.
Okay.
But the CSR funding can be available for the construction of the incubation center.
Incubation center. Okay.
The assets, the capital expenses
Capital expenses.
may not be for running expenses.
Okay.
I don't know the rules
Okay.
beyond that.
Okay. Never mind. One more question was, if an incubatee needs a physical space for machinery or things like that, do they use the institution workshop, IIT workshops, or
The machinery they will be using whatever the CFI has a separate workshop
CFI
system.
is a separate workshop, so they can use that itself.
Yes. And they can also use the IIT workshop system.
Okay.
Whatever is there. And many places they try and get the help from alumni also.
Alumni also. Okay. And what about the role of the faculty of IIT? Do they help as CFI incubatees at some stage?
At all times, depending on the CFI is completely students driven.
Okay.
So the individual relationship is what matters.
Okay.
But for the startup, there are many places the faculty identifies the students because it's the faculty's idea which would have been there. The faculty will also be a founding member.
Oh, okay, fine.
They also hold the shares. There are places where the faculty has taken the major, they become the co-founder or they become the founder.
Okay, wonderful.
So at least I know 4 or 5 professors who hold controlling shares and then run.
Okay.
They're one of the major incubators.
Good.
So you say if you know theory, you prove that it's also practical.
Okay, wonderful. I think this is something superb what you are talking now. I had not expected this much. I have in fact gone around, seen many incubation centers around India, promoted by Department of Science and Technology, beautifully organized, and students especially at that younger age are getting associated. Can you name 2 or 3 successful incubatees of that IIT? Name means in terms of product which finally got into the market.
One of the biggest is the Ather.
Oh, Ather, the electric vehicle.
Electric vehicle.
Oh, that has come from there.
That comes from
wonderful.
Then there is another for which I don't know the name. Now we are getting the KYC by photograph directly. That is another incubator which has started. Okay, that incubator started something else. Then when he went out, he made that. So the origin is still there.
Okay.
Then there is a thing called submersible inspection vehicle.
Oh yeah, right. Submersible.
There is something called Twin Health. They are all incubators.
Incubators of IIT.
Plenty.
Okay.
Some of them have gone very big.
I can. Now, one question I had was like Ather, you said. Ather, let's say he proved the concept, made the prototype, then in the incubation he brought it to the stage of its commercialization. But actual production normally requires a huge plant and...
that is where the VCs will come in.
Oh, okay.
See, if you make the prototype, you go to the VCs, the Ather had 100 crores from Hero.
Okay, that's how it happened. Okay. From Hero.
See, once the investors feel that they can make money, they will put in the money.
But then Hero, did they manufacture it or this incubator he manufactures it, that Ather?
It's completely independent company.
Okay.
The Hero might have invested 100 crores, but they may have only 10% shares.
Okay, fine.
So the company would be valued at 1,000 crores. That kind of thing. I don't know the exact
thing. But then this incubator, what role does he play? Does he play the role of a CEO or what happens?
Whatever, that is an individual arrangement.
Okay.
That is how there are people to help on how to negotiate shares, how to value the company. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they are very... Example, we have I can send a note on what I call as a different, my estimation of different percentage for different contribution.
Okay.
So you require a strategist, you require technology. You require finance. You require HR.
Yes.
Then you require an operations management.
Yeah.
You require a sales team. Now, if you take all these different ones take a different, then you need an infrastructure, the place to start working. Each one has a percentage. So whoever has to give that. So I'm saying that I have the technology and I need 90%, doesn't work.
Okay.
Or I am putting in the finance, so I will need 50%.
That is, it has to be all
depending on what is it. Now, in many cases, the ideas and technology are by different people.
Okay. Yeah. Right,
So this
right.
is one of the things which I am personally trying to work out on.
Ah.
Have what is known as a grant, different groups.
Ah.
I am trying to allocate this and get the people come together with different expertise.
Okay.
Even incubating, okay, he is technological person, okay, so we have a technology. Then try to bring in the other people to complement the system.
So, okay. So,
The same if somebody has a marketing idea, he can market. Then we'll put together people who can do the manufacturing, who can do the technology and things like that.
but these people you are saying, are they from the students or from outside?
Where?
No.
IIT does not, the IIT Incubation Center can be for anybody,
Okay.
technically. Even
Acha, it's not for
IIT
students alone. Okay. It is not only for students.
No,
Right.
alumni, people, there are people, 50, 60 who can come and get themselves incubated.
Into incubator. Okay. Okay.
Technically speaking, I can get incubated.
Yeah, right. Anybody can get it. Okay, that had not registered. Now the incubation center per se, what kind of organization structure does it have from IIT side? I mean, does it have a
IIT,
CEO?
this has no
Okay.
connection.
Uh-huh.
It has its own general manager, and it has registered separately as a company.
Company. Oh.
And you have this structure.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, now it's
Only
become
the
clear.
agreement,
Uh-huh.
they get into an agreement at the end, there is an MOU. Like a private company to IIT, the MOU, whereas the legal decision, that detail I am not going into.
Okay.
But this becomes independent,
Uh,
so that there is no restriction from the government or the university to run it.
To run it.
But they have to run on their own
On their own.
articles, whatever the purpose they have. They will have a board of directors. The board of directors may have lot of, some people from IIT, some people from government.
Okay, fine. So the CFI is a bit more linked to IIT. That's what you would say.
Yeah, CFA is 100%
100% IIT.
That is actually funded by, now they have made it an innovation center. I think Shankar, Sudha, Deshmukh, I mean,
A lot of alumni have funded it. Yeah,
alumni has funded. Initially it started as a small, now that's a huge funding.
Okay. Now this choosing some students for CFI, who does that?
There is no choosing of the students.
Then?
Students have to volunteer, come and keep working.
Okay.
They just have to present something. I don't think anybody is restricted.
Okay.
I don't know the full detail because I have not been there fully.
No problem.
From whatever I have understood, is that they have an idea, they come, they have to register, there is a faculty, there is some organization, there is no filtering.
No filtering there. Okay.
But some checks and balances
Will be there.
has to be there. Otherwise people will come just spend time and do nothing.
Okay.
So, select whether there is certain amount of seriousness or something. I don't know how it is done.
Okay. And then I found that at the CFI, they are also participating in a number of competitions.
Yeah.
Who identifies those competitions? The CFI itself or the
That is where
student?
the incubation, the whole IIT ecosystem, all the pitching competitions.
Pitching competitions. Okay. Because there are some international competitions also.
There is some international competition, there are some hackathon challenges.
Yeah.
A lot of people announce because that has become very fancy.
And
personally, I have attended a few where I have not been very impressed, but then it goes on.
Yeah. Good. Anyway, I think you have given me an extremely good overview of the whole incubation philosophy. Thank you very much, TJ.